Yizzo, 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 what up? Hope you're feeling amazing on purpose. You know your boy definitely is. Got Nasir in the building. We're about to keep this internship going strong. Today we're gonna be working on different change of direction drills, 5, 10, 5s. We're gonna do some acceleration and who knows where we're gonna go with it today, but let's get ready to learn. Let's tap in. So at this point, right, when I have a kid do this, I'm just watching where the ground contact is happening with their foot, like what part of their foot is striking the ground. 3/4 speed. Checking out arm drive, looking at their breathing, full speed. All right, so like, I'm gonna just talk to this like if I'm in a real session in real time. So first thing I notice is when he does the sprint, we got some sideways arm motion going side to side. We got some knee crossing the body there, which is gonna make him be going a little bit further because he's not going on one straight line. All right, so first thing we're gonna start with is some acceleration walks. The acceleration walks you're gonna do is really help you keep control of your knee and your leg. If you're crossing from side to side, once you dorsiflex your toe, right, that's gonna pull these muscles up here, and it's gonna be hard to kind of rotate your ankle at that point. It's gonna make you keep everything in line. So with the acceleration walks, sink the hips down, you wanna sweep through, keep the toe pulled back towards the face, ankle's gonna stop directly underneath the knee, hold this position here, so you wanna build the balance and stability on that back leg because you're eventually gonna be jumping off of that leg, all right? So we'll start here, sink the hips, hold it for like a 1-2 count, step down right into your next rep, all right? The emphasis in the start of the rep is here on the ground, the end of the rep is here. This is just your reload into your next rep. Let's get it. And what we don't want to see here is heel lift up from the back, right? We want to sweep right from the ground there, yep. And we want to be emphasizing max speed with the sweep and then a hard stop at the end, keeping a slight bend in that knee. And once we move on to the next few drills, you're going to see exactly why it's so important to get that hard sweep, get the leg to stop there before you drive behind the hips. I knew I should have turned the camera off before we even started recording, right? I'm just keep it rolling today. I'm not hitting pause no more. Before we came today, I'm like, what do you remember about speed? He like, I just remember some of the stuff they taught me. I'm like, forget they, like, what'd you learn? No one ever taught me speed, he said. I'm like, what? There's no way you come to my gym and you don't learn speed. Anyway, we're gonna do that same drill on the way back. We're just gonna pick up the pace. Let me give you a demo. Starting here, right? So now we're just gonna speed up this pace here. We still want to emphasize the stick of that motion there, really building that hip flexor and that quad to get ready for that ground strike on the way back. Talking about he ain't learned no speed here. This guy's hilarious. So we about to build on that, right? So taking that same skipping motion, now we're gonna build the next part of it, which is the push. You got sweep first and then a push. The push is gonna be the thing that's gonna catapult you and move you forward. This is gonna set the motion. So from here, we sweep and push out, all right? Controlling the body when you land, just stepping forward into your next few steps. Don't really try to stop anything, all right? Hips down, big powerful sweep move, push off, step back leg. All right, and this won't be like, this isn't gonna really be a simulation of like what the sprint's gonna be like. This is just gonna help you get into that next motion, or I should say the landing of your sprint, because you're gonna hit on your heels, and we would never wanna do that. Remember, we still wanna get to that bent leg position. So remember what we did with the sweeps and where we were stopping at?
Yeah, right here.
Yep, so you wanna make sure you stop there when you jump, and then your body's just gonna kind of glide forward. But it's all got to be all one motion.
All one motion. Yep. I'm about to say, I feel like Mario jump for some mushrooms.
And sink your hips before you start. Now just don't drag that back leg. You want to jump off of it.
Okay.
Get like in the sprint stance, like you're about to sprint.
Yeah, I still dragged. I felt it.
Always start from a sprint stance because that way you can get that clean sweep. So when we're meshing the walk and we're kind of like starting here, we're losing that range of motion that we would have if we were here to get to this position.
Okay.
All right. So always start in this position here and give me that clean push off of there. An analogy I like to use for this here, and I tell kids is, picture there being like a puddle right in front of you and you want to jump over the puddle.
Okay.
Landing on that back leg. Now picture the puddle is almost endless and you just want to try to go as far as you can, because even there you kind of stop down hard. Go as far as you can.
All right. Okay.
And that's why when we do the acceleration walks, I like to do about at least 4 to 5 reps of those, because like it really helps you get used to just stopping that leg. Now we're gonna start to add the landing part into it. So you got your your sweep, your push off of this leg here. Now when we land, we're gonna emphasize that sweep behind the hips. And what that does is it allows you to just maintain your speed. You don't ever hit in the front of your body. When you were doing the sprints before, your toes kind of hitting here, so that's going to automatically be the brakes. Anytime you hit in front of your body, it's going to slow yourself down. So what this is going to allow you to do is keep the momentum that you already have, transfer it right into your next step and go behind. All right. So hips down, start here, sweep, jump, push. Sweep, jump, push. All right, and then just kind of jog it out of there. Ooh, it's starting to come back to him. You see that? It's starting to come back to him. Switch legs. It's starting to come back to him. And a great way to know if you're doing your acceleration step right. If you're able to stop immediately after your first step, you're completely wrong. It would be impossible for him to stop after this first step without hurting himself. All right, get set up here. Once again, shout out to low budget filmmakers out there, man. I feel your pain. Now we're gonna emphasize the first 2 strides of this here. So we're out. 1, 2. 1, 2. And then gear down. And nothing changes. The whole purpose of this is replicating this motion about 2 to 3 times. That would be 4 to 6 steps to get to full speed. Once you get to full speed, then you would transition into a new set of steps there. Now what we want to do here, right, because he's starting to get the steps right, now we want to start to get the really nitty gritty. Keeping his body low, getting his arm set, his opposite hand needs to be forward when he starts. Opposite hand forward. He's just locked in right now. He's not even listening to anything. He's so happy he hit these acceleration steps. He feels so much faster that he don't even hear nothing else. Congratulations though, man. That's what we can do for a person here. Now listen, opposite hand's gotta be forward. Yep, so get in your stance. Now, one thing I want to help with the stance here is, right, go stay in your stance. We don't ever really want to have that front foot to just be flat down like that. We want to have everything loaded up. So I like to tell people to go up on their tiptoes first. No, like in your 2-point stagger, go on your tiptoes and then push your heels towards the ground. All right, don't let the heels touch. Also, you got to get them hips down, you got to get lower. You got to look like some type of leopard about to go pounce on a baby gazelle. Like everything's got to be loaded up. So when you take those first 2 steps, and like this is uncomfortable, right? Relax for a second. You relax. So I'll give you guys a visual of what was going on there and why we want that, all right? So sitting in that position, right? That's like having the band stretched out. That way when we go to start, we get that type of explosive energy. With the foot flat, all right, this is where we're at. And then we're working for every sense of every step. We're working for every stride versus being able to power behind the hips, be more explosive, and get right out of there, all right? So get up on the heels before you start and then sink the hips. Get the hips low first though, get low. There we go. And then push the heels down towards the ground, don't let them touch. Opposite hand forward, hand forward. We still gotta get that opposite hand forward because when we get into these drills, because here's the thing, when we get into these drills, right? They're gonna, as soon as you move, they move the clock. So if your arms move and you haven't moved anywhere, we're just wasting time. So you already wanna have your hands set up the way you wanna go. A lot of times you're gonna be down in a 3-point stagger stance anyway for a 40 test, but sometimes you might do a standing 40.
Yeah, when I started right here.
I'm just gonna run the tape back. It's cool. I'm having a slow-mo and everything. He's gonna dispute this.
Okay.
Opposite hand, opposite hand forward. Because if they look how your arms are now. You look like a wide receiver. So then when you go to start, one hand's gonna move back automatically. You aren't gonna just.
Oh, so you want me to start with this?
Gotta start there. That's all one clean move.
Okay. I thought you meant like my first step. I go. That's why I was like.
Your first move is when the clock starts. So right now, opposite hand forward. Here we go. All right, so now that we got that corrected, next thing is that we want to work on our body lean. You want to keep like a nice 45-degree angle. And what we're going to do to help with that is, right? We're going to do a falling start. Nope. So, and why you were wrong there is because you went to the toes. We don't want to be on the toes. We want to let everything go here till we get pretty much in this position here before we go. So we stay nice and relaxed, let the body kind of fall out. Sweep out. Shoulders head back, nice and relaxed. Now what we want to do there, right?
What'd you say?
We want to make sure that by the time that first foot hits the ground, your back foot is off the ground.
Okay.
Closer. And we're gonna work on dorsiflexing those toes, keeping your toes pulled up. With your toes pointed down, that's gonna take you towards the floor. You want to be able to sweep behind the hips, not reach to the floor. So that was a much better job with dorsiflexion. We just got to jump and explode off of that back leg.
Yeah.
Into just one stride, because we're getting like a higher knee punch, and that's making you bring your body up in the air versus more of a sweep. Okay. All right, slide down this way from me a little bit. So when you go into it and we take this fall and start, just take this first sweep, sweep, and punch. That way we get out of taking this high knee there. Sweep it and punch. Let that leg yank your body through. In a perfect world, you want to be using whatever foot you would kick a ball with, that's your quick foot. So that's the foot you would want to be moving with first. Okay. And let that momentum just drag your body forward. And as you get to about midline, a little bit past midline, you should be looking to start to push off of that back leg. It should be a couple of frames on the camera where you're not on the ground, holding this position here pretty much. And then as you're about to come down to the ground, transition hard behind the hips. Better.
It's that small sweep. I'm so used to like trying to high knee, get up and come right back down with.
Tell me why we wouldn't want a high knee.
Because if you do it wrong, you're forward instead of back to like push.
Even if you do it right. The natural motion from that would be to come straight down. You wouldn't be able to generate this torque here unless you were in already past full speed. I mean, past acceleration would be in max velocity. In max velocity, the stride comes up here, start from behind, big sweep here, and even there, right? We're still out in front of our body. That way we can come straight down this way. Versus up here, toe pull down, you don't really leave much room for this sweep in motion.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that one. That was a good one.
I bet, because that's the one. That's the one we're looking for right there. Those are the ones we're looking for there. Now let's make sure, let's go hit the 2 strides out of there now.
Okay.
He liked that one. Me too. And I think anybody else who know about speed liked that one too. Y'all see that segment where like he went from hip flexors, quads, right back to glutes firing, driving behind the hips?
Was that a good one? I didn't really like that one.
You don't know anything.
I feel like I didn't bounce off on the
On your
back.
second step?
Yeah.
I didn't watch your second step, honestly. I saw how fast your first step transitioned to hamstring glute from quad to hip, from quad and hip flexors. It was pretty cool. I'm paying attention now.
Oh, that wasn't good at all.
Tell me why.
I didn't get a sweep. Like my sweep was too low. I stopped myself in my own tracks.
Yep, because you're making it too quick.
Yeah.
Like the speed's gonna be the power behind the hips, not how fast you move your feet.
Okay.
Like you ever watch drag car racing?
Mm-mm.
Killed that demo. Anybody who watched like funny car racing, you know you don't want a lot of tire spin at the beginning of your race. You want a lot of grip, you want to be explosive. You don't want all that rotation and sputtering out. That didn't feel like the one you really liked, did it?
It was better than the last one, but I still didn't really like it.
You know why? Because you rising up on them toes before you go.
I felt that, yeah. I felt that, yeah.
And that's just taking away the elasticity, that rubber band effect. Keep that rubber band stretched out. You falling forward is like pulling back the rock in the slingshot.
Like new. MJ's been great.
Ah, come on, Hijack.
MJM is magical.
MJM. No, we magical. AF24 is magical. What they talking about? MJ. Yeah, he about to be the fastest in the room. Accelerate.
See how you think of that so quick? I can't do that.
Oh, that's 20 push-ups. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Since you're already down there, right? We right on that energy right there. Here's another way to help with staying low. Come from the push-up start. So we'll start here. What happens here? We'll bring left foot forward, and then from here, it's almost like an exaggerated 4-point stance. And then you're gonna explode right out with the acceleration steps. And this will really help you keep your body in that forward lean.
You want me to start down?
Yeah,
Or
just
start
like
up?
how I was. I'll start flat down on the ground.
Okay.
Because when we're sprinting, right? We want a 90-degree, we don't want a 90-degree angle. All right, this is like max velocity finishing a race if you're like a distance runner. If I'm accelerating, I'm trying to gain speed, for me to be able to hit behind my hips, I want to be on like a 45-degree angle, or what we call like a power line. So explode up, left foot will come first, right foot will explode out with the acceleration step. Whenever you're ready.
I'm trying.
Meditate, my bad. He meditating, this is deep.
Yeah.
Over exaggerate the sweeps. Over exaggerate the sweeps. Right now, it's like this up top posture we got here versus staying low. Does a better job staying low, but towards the end, we go right to toes pointing down. That's just gonna take some getting used to, just pulling them toes up, constantly dorsiflexing those toes. Keep that same body lean. That body lean was perfect though. Grab a quick drink, sir.
I felt a little better.
Now what's super important to realize here is you want to keep your arms straight. If you don't get your arms straight, you run the chance of having a knee banger. No bueno, all right? Keep the arms straight here, which is going to allow us to stay in that 45-degree angle. Now we can constantly hit the acceleration steps and drive behind the hips. You know, as soon as you start hitting behind your hips, how much easier it was to push that thing, right?
Yeah, the first couple was slow, but then
Because you weren't behind the hips. So as long as the power is behind the hips, that's why I love using the tank for this stuff here. And shout out to the Hitmax. You're gonna go show some love to the Hitmax on the other side too. Watch the power line, see it? You gotta stay low. Yeah, that's the rep right there. Into the nose, out to the mouth. And if I really just want to emphasize like that power behind the hips, take some of the speed out of the drill, we'll just take it up another notch. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Emerald Lagasse. Another notch! He might be too young to even know who Emerald Lagasse is, but it's okay. Sweep, sweep, yeah, sweep, sweep, sweep. And even there, right? We can still see those toes pointed down versus
at the
being
end,
pulled
yeah.
up. Yeah, that one there, that touched
I was
him
doing
there.
good at the beginning.
That was a lot of energy there. Not for play, play. Sweep, sweep, toes up, toes up, toes up. See, every once in a while you see him like catch his toe on the ground, right? Or you can hear it. That's because the toes is pointed down. You gonna forget this anymore?
You said what?
You gonna forget this anymore?
I hope not.
Catching while you're tired, see what his technique like. Attack! Yeah. Sweep, sweep. Yeah, let's go. Stay with it, stay with it. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, he thought he was gonna be learning stuff today. He didn't know that it was gonna turn into this today. Yeah. No, we don't have a dog in here. That's just him breathing heavy. Look, he did want to end this for months. Look at him. he wanted to end this for months. Let's go. Toes up, dorsiflexion heaven. Let's go, baby. Sweet, 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 sweet. Here we go. Give me a sprint on the way back.
You said
Then
what?
Get a drink. Give me a full speed sprint on the way back. 2 of those on each leg, actually. Get a drink. Yeah. Pause it while he out there dying real quick. Kind of catches the lungs. Bring them back to life. Let's go.